NC State has a end of game problem. NC State men's basketball lost to Virginia Tech yesterday, and an end of game problem is probably a symptom of a bigger cause. That cause being they don't know who they are. Or actually, I'm going to change it. We've been saying that for a while. We've been saying that NC State has an identity issue. They don't know what they do best. They don't know what they major in. They don't know who and what and this. I don't know if it's they don't know. It's that different people on the team have different answers to that question. And that's just a slight difference, but an important one. They were ahead 12 with 6 minutes left against Virginia Tech. If you know who you are as a team, if you're on the same page, you win that game almost every time. Barring something special by the opposing team, right? If a player from Virginia Tech goes 6 for 6, goes absolutely nuclear from 3 or something like that, then okay, you bad luck. You tip your cap and you move on. Tech didn't do that. 12-point lead, 6 minutes left in the game. If you know who you are, you win that game. Kevin Keatts, their head coach, on why they weren't able to close out the game.
Well, I'm very disappointed for our team. I mean, when you fight and play as hard as we did and played as well as we did, not to come out with a win, that's very disappointing. We gave up a big 3, towards the end of the game, and then obviously there were a couple 50-50 opportunities to get rebounds, one on our end and then on the other end, and I thought they got those 50-50, then obviously there's a call as a foul. I thought both guys were going for the basketball, but it's disappointing. We're fighting our butts off, and these guys have grit all the time, and it's tough when you come away with a loss after the way how hard you played tonight, and that's the message that we got to get. We got to finish games, and unfortunately, it didn't go our way.
Unfortunately, it didn't go our way. Yeah, I mean that's what that feels like. There's a little lack of ownership. Unfortunately, it didn't go our way. It could have. If you didn't turn the ball over a bunch of times in the last 6 minutes, if you chose to make different decisions, if you had slightly more impressive execution.
It's not like you didn't have a 15-point lead with about 8 minutes left, 10 minutes left, whatever it was.
Like, unfortunately, it didn't go our way. Makes it sound like you were, I don't know, in Vegas at the roulette table. Like, I don't know, we had chips on red, and unfortunately, it landed on black. Like, that's not exactly how sports work. 8 possessions from a 12-point lead with 6 minutes left. Multiple turnovers, multiple missed shots. Marcus Hill, Jaden Taylor, Middlebrook scored. Hill hit a layup. That's the only good things that happened. Dontrez Styles missed the jumper. It's an execution thing. It's a identity thing. This is I'm gonna sports radio the heck out of this. It's a moxie thing. It's an X factor thing. It's an it factor thing. Dennis likes to point out, and I think it's a good little running bit here, that I'm big into the NFL draft. I like to test myself. I like to watch a couple college games and form my own opinions and see how those players turn out. See how hard it is being an NFL GM. Plot twist, very hard. But one of the things I find when I take notes on a player when I'm watching film on a player is I find the overwhelming desire to write down this guy just gets it. This guy is a basketball player, or this guy's a football player in this case, right? This guy has it, and that's in a scouting report. Like, what the heck is that, right? Okay, he's got good size. He's fast. He's got production. Oh, what a quick first step. He has a good feel for setting up his blockers. I don't know, whatever you write down on a scouting report, and then you just have some wishy-washy nonsense like poise through the roof. And what do you do with that? But it's almost more when you see a team that doesn't have enough of it, it's glaring. If you're looking at your recruiting class or you're looking at your incoming transfer class and you're asking, okay, if we were casting this movie, who's on the poster? And there's not an obvious answer, you're in trouble. When coming down the stretch, it was obvious. Jaden Taylor thought he should be on the poster. Marcus Hill thought he should be on the poster. Maybe even like Dontrez Styles, who actually shot a high percentage on extremely low volume. Maybe he's sitting there going like, why not me? It wasn't clear. And just like in a movie, if you have, 4 people in a scene and they all think it's their movie, you're getting some overacting. If nobody is there playing subtle, if no one is there as the straight man, no one is there letting everything else play off of them, you got yourself a problem. Imagine, I'll use this movie as an example. You seen the movie Dodgeball?
Of course.
Imagine that Dodgeball was cast and filmed and everything, and instead of having Vince Vaughn think I'm the background and everybody, all these crazy characters are going to play off me, you just had Vince Vaughn's character playing as crazy as White Goodman, Ben Stiller's character. You had I forget the leading lady actress's name. She's playing it as wild and crazy as White Goodman. So you have these scenes and you just have 4 people out there with handlebar mustaches going, I also like to break a mental sweat. We're trying to read the dictionary. It would be outlandish. If you watch NC State, sometimes I get that feeling where I'm going like, is anybody just going to get the rebound and kick it out to the guy that wants to shoot? The final play, an inbound with 2.3 seconds left. NC State was down 1. They had the ball under the bucket, going the long way. Inbound pass, intercepted, and a dunk as time expires for Virginia Tech's Ben Burnham. That stings. Right, you're thinking you're going to have your own little buzzer beater moment here. It's going to change the tide of your season, and you end up getting dunked on less than 2.3 seconds later. Burnham for Virginia Tech, the guy that picked off the pass and dunked it, was quoted in his post-game media saying, I'm kind of familiar with the play, what they were trying to get. And then I read the inbounder's eyes, and he gave the googly eyes to my man. And so I was like, I'm just going to try to steal this. That's a lot of recognition from a college player. If you have a player on the other team going like, I know what they're doing here, that's not great for your late game execution. And I was talking with someone yesterday, and do you remember DeShone Kizer?
Former Notre Dame / Cleveland Browns quarterback, yes.
Exactly. And somehow DeShone Kizer popped up in the conversation. And the person I was talking with goes, when I knew DeShone Kizer wasn't going to work out, this was a Browns fan. I said, when? They said there was like 11 or 12 seconds left on the clock. They had no timeouts. They got the ball down to the 3.5-yard line. So they're going in. They need to score a touchdown to win. 3.5-yard line, 11 seconds left. And DeShone Kizer ran up there and went rogue. And he quarterback sneaked it. Now, that's not an issue if you have a timeout, right? You go, I'm going to try to surprise them. If you don't have a timeout, you get tackled in bounds, you don't get another playoff, game over. And we went into this next conversation, which was all he's missing is the actual smart decision-making. Because if you are that dude who has the type of self-confidence to go rogue in an NFL football game with 11 seconds left needing a touchdown to score, you have that's part of the equation. You need that, right? You need Matt Stafford, spike it, snap, jump over the pile, touchdown, right? You need the self-confidence to do it, but then you also have to make great decisions. On an inbound play like that, you need somebody to make the play. The best athletes have a lot of no, yes, right? You have a lot of the coach going, that's not what I call, what are you doing? Great decision, buddy. Way to win the game. There's nobody on State that's doing that. And then they go back to the same rhetoric they've been spewing. And by the way, that every team in their situation spews, which is, well, we're just one mistake away. We're close. We're right there. Here's Kevin Keatts after the game for NC State.
You look at our team, man. They're fighting their asses off, and we're right there. And it's a loose ball here. It's a Missed shot here, it's a turnover here, it's a free throw. We're right there, and you're talking about that's 5 games now. That's been one possession games, and they could go either way. And 3 of those have win. Three of those have win against us, and 2 of them win in our favor. But this one stings because we had the win, and we could see the win, and obviously they made some shots down the stretch.
Here's my frustration with that, and every coach says. I'm sure I've said it at times. Definitely during my playing career, right? Oh, we were one drive away. Yeah, you were one mistake away from winning. You were 4 unforced mistakes away from winning by 6. You were 10 unforced mistakes away from winning by 15. Yeah, it's a one missed shot here or there. At a certain point, you're just missing too many shots. It's one turnover here or there. At a certain point, you're just making too many careless errors down the stretch. Excuse me. Just like being one bucket short. Obviously, it matters because that's the difference between winning and losing. Life's a game of inches. But that doesn't mean that was your only opportunity. Your only mistake cost you. You're too good to be 2-4. Virginia Tech's not very good. 2-4 in conference. Virginia Tech's not very good. They're now above you in the standings. That's not where you want to be. You're down there messing around with some teams in the basement. Where's your killer instinct, son? There you go. We keep talking about their only path to the NCAA tournament is winning the ACC tournament. You're like 1 or 2 more losses away from being on maybe not making the ACC tournament watch. Like, avoid disaster. That's the name of the game right now.